watching. You are watching.
You're watching. You guys are watching.
You're watching Soulful Discussion.
So hi, how you doing today?
I'm good.
All right, and so how did our paths just cross right now? Tell us a little bit about how we ended up here.
A coincidence.
Okay. And what was it? You just told me what it was. So let's.
Me stuck in traffic and my bladder needed relief. So
Okay.
there you go.
Absolutely, and I was walking through the park and we ran into each other.
Yeah.
And what did I approach you about?
You wanted to ask me some questions.
Okay, and
concerning your
YouTube channel, right?
Right.
And
right,
what did I want to talk to you about? What are the topics? 3 topics.
The issues of feet was one. You have to run it through me.
Mental health.
Mental health.
And then the other one was reflexology.
Reflexology.
Okay. In terms of mental health, are there any topics that you research, you follow closely?
I have a psychologist, sociology major.
Oh, okay.
So, but I haven't used it in years.
Okay.
But I do have a major, and I work with students with disabilities. So
Awesome.
I'm around it 90% of my, a lot, yeah.
Nice. So the information that I talk about today, you might be familiar with.
Right.
It'll be new information for you. Cool.
Yeah, although reflexology, it seems like reflex is the root word in there, but I don't think I've used that terminology.
That was my next question. Like, have you ever heard of reflexology before?
I pulled the root word out.
Yeah.
But in terms of that being used,
you don't.
No, you're gonna give me a task after I leave here to go look.
Well, I'm actually gonna tell you a little bit about it, and then when you leave here, you might be able to go and like get more information on it. So let's jump into these questions, okay?
Okay.
What's something you like that other people might find to be weird? And I'm using the term weird for a reason. It doesn't have to be weird, but it could be a hobby you have, and other people might look at it like, well, that's strange or something.
I can think of it more of the food I eat, maybe because of the culture that I come from. Like I would say, oh, take off the fish head. I eat a fish head. So it's like in terms of food, cultural taboos like that. But I can't think of anything that I do that somebody else would think it's weird.
Well, that's fine right there. Exactly what you said. Has anyone ever made you feel insecure about your body or a body part?
All the time. Isn't that life?
Yeah. So now, is that something that you still deal with now on a day-to-day basis, or do you kind of like have a control over it now?
It's not necessarily having a control, but you can't control how people think, right? So you can see it happening, you can experience it, but you move on, and every life experience is going to bring different situations, and you just have to learn from it and move on. No, I'm not going to dwell on it, but I have been in situations where I know I've been judged in those areas.
So how did you overcome that? Did you take any steps or anything like that?
No.
Or was it just like growing out of that situation?
It's not really growing out, but I mean, like if you're confident in yourself and what you bring, like obviously there's gonna be initial doubt there, like you feel like you're less sober, but then at the end of the day you move on because you know your value, or in my case I know my value, so it doesn't stay long. It comes to a point where you reevaluate like how society or people view you in terms of color. I've seen that in relationships, but I move on.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get into these questions now. How do you feel about your feet? What are your thoughts?
I like my feet.
Okay. All right. I'm not gonna look just yet because I want to. This is a step-by-step process, but you like your feet. Okay. Has anyone ever given you compliments on your feet?
Yeah.
Men, women.
Yeah.
Both. Okay. In terms of a compliment you receive from a man, right?
Yeah.
If he compliments you on that, how does it make you feel?
I don't feel bad for sure. I mean, like, I just see, like, if I know it for me, then I can accept it from somebody else. So it's like in my culture, they always say you have to, like, in terms of when it comes to hygiene or something, you have to know it for yourself first before somebody approach you about it. So I have to look at my feet and say, it's either ugly or not, and accept it for that. Then if somebody compliments me, it's only resonating what I already know, you know?
Okay. Now, in terms of, what about when a woman compliments you on that? Is there a different feeling?
No, I just say thank you. Well,
so for you, it's the same?
It's not the same because of like the opposite sex. It's like somebody liking something about you that women loves compliment, and
Yeah.
they love it more from the opposite sex.
Yeah.
So of course I'm gonna feel differently if like somebody that I'm,
Yeah, and I asked that question because I interviewed someone before who told me that like women from a young age are kind of taught to be in like competition with each other and like hate on other girls, and so
that's what I dislike in friendship.
Yeah.
I dislike that in relationships with female
Yeah.
where it has to be competitive.
yeah. And
It
so what she was
shouldn't be
saying was
way.
that as you get older, when you receive compliments from other women, it's more sincere. And
Right,
comes from a
right.
good
And it
place.
should always be that way
Yeah.
because if I'm giving a compliment, it's coming from a good place.
Mhm.
And they always say, well, they say if you don't have anything nice,
Yeah, don't say.
I don't necessarily go by that
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the time. So,
Yeah.
but that's what they say.
Yeah, and the contrast she gave me, she said a lot of men give compliments a lot of times just to get something in return from you. Now, is that something you agree with, or
No, I think men really do call out what they find attractive in you. If they don't find it, I've had experiences where if they don't find it attractive, they don't call it out.
I see. Okay.
You know?
All right. What would your thoughts be if you started to date somebody who is into feet? Like, how would you feel about that? Would that be something you're for, or you're not for?
I'm for it. I've
Okay.
had it in relationships
Oh, you've
where,
had it?
yeah.
Do you care to share? Like,
Um,
you don't have to go too in depth. You don't have to go
no,
too
I
in
don't
depth.
go
I'm just
in
saying,
depth, but I mean,
was
like,
it a good experience? Or?
it's good to, yeah.
Nice. All right. When you first start dating someone, when is the appropriate time for you two to talk about the things you're into? Like,
I think from the start.
from the start?
I mean, like, I need to know where this is going, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, like, why am I going to wait until, like, next week to tell you what I don't like?
Yeah.
And, it's
Time
like,
is precious, right?
right. And sometimes it's just the situation or the topic, and it's best to, like, put stuff out there and instead of surprising.
Exactly. How often do you get pedicures?
You know what? I don't go to the shops with pedicures. I only go for my hands. I do them
So you do your own
myself.
self-care.
Right, because in the past I've had a fungus issue
I see.
with the shops, and I was like, you know what, self-care
do
for
it
my
yourself.
toe it myself.
Okay.
But I can't do
Yeah, your hands. You
I
can't do as
can't do
good a job as
acrylics.
them.
No, I can't do acrylics on
Yeah.
my own, so I still go for
Okay.
that.
So
Yeah.
how often do you do your own self-care?
I want to say every week or sometimes more,
Okay.
like, but not too long because
Okay.
obviously
So
it
maybe
has
every
to-
week, every 2 weeks?
Yeah, something like that.
Cool. How often do you wear open-toed shoes, sandals, flip-flops?
Hey, I'm from Belize all the
Okay.
time. See, it's like
Yeah.
all the time, winter,
Okay.
whatever.
Okay, I see. All right. She's like, I'm all day.
Well,
every
not
day.
all day, but I mean, like, it's a big part of my
Yeah.
shoe collection. And
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. How often do you go barefoot?
I don't like to go barefoot a lot,
Okay.
but at home because I have a no shoe policy when you enter
Yeah.
my home. So
Which is a great
at
policy
home,
to have, too.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't go barefoot outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you believe in, like, earthing, grounding? You ever heard of that before?
Well, I'm sure in terms of giving back to the universe and and I don't really believe in walking barefooted outside.
Okay.
I believe in your carbon copy, like recycling. I'm
Okay.
big on recycling, but in terms of like just feeling one with the nature,
Yeah.
recycling is good enough for me.
Okay.
In terms of my carbon
I feel
footprint.
you.
Yeah.
I feel you. Okay.
Yeah.
And so now, can we see what your feet look like up close?
Sure.
Can you put them up here?
Oh gosh, let me stand. Let me put.
Well, no, just sit down. You can sit
Well,
down and
I'm
just...
standing here. There's my toes.
Okay. All right.
And, they
And
do
what
need
size
a
do you wear?
manicure. I'm a size 7.
Size 7.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, no, can you sit and then extend your legs towards me? Because
How is that gonna work?
Huh? Oh,
How
just
is
sit.
that gonna work?
Just
Because
sit
I
here
have
and-
on a dress.
Oh, yeah, but we
Okay,
can't see it. We
here's
can't see
my
it.
toes.
Well, because I wanted to get you to take the sandals off so that we can see like the bottoms of your
Oh
foot and
boy.
stuff like that.
Okay, here's the bottom.
Okay.
Here's
All
my
right.
foot.
All right.
And I do love my toes.
All right. So now, how's
Oh,
this
is that
experience so far in terms of like how you're feeling about it, like in terms of the interview so far?
I mean, it's okay in terms of the questions.
Okay.
I
Do you
don't
feel comfortable? That's what I'm trying to get to. Do you feel comfortable?
I would not be here if
Okay.
I did not feel comfortable.
All right.
I mean, yeah.
So now, in terms of mental health, I told you the reason why I got involved in this. So in terms of the mental health, why I got involved with this, I was watching you guys trying to do quarantine. He was talking about DBT. Are you familiar with that?
No.
Okay.
DBT. No.
Yeah, it's dialectical behavioral therapy. Are you familiar with CBT?
No.
Okay. So DBT is for people who deal with like anxiety and depression.
Mm-hmm.
It's for people who like don't tend to live in the moment, right?
Mhm.
So they tend to like think about all the like worst things that could possibly happen in a situation. They're presented with a situation, it's like everything is negative, right? What therapists prescribe for these people is to go out and put themselves in those situations that make them feel uncomfortable. So let's say you have a fear of approaching strangers.
Yeah, I don't think I would want that.
Yeah.
That
So if you had a fear of approaching strangers, what they want you to do is to go out and do it over and over again. Right? It's like exposure therapy, like putting yourself out there.
Oh, really?
And so it's meant so that when you start to feel uncomfortable, that you do a self-assessment and ask yourself, what's the worst that's going to happen in this situation? Right? So you ask yourself, is there a threat to my life or to my safety? And if not,
but what if your fear involves the threat to your life?
Well, then in that situation, like they wouldn't tell you like if you're afraid of fire, so like go step foot in fire.
Yeah, like
it's just
I just
for
thought
situations.
of my fear of snakes, and I was like, there's no way anybody's gonna get me to go around snakes every day just to feel comfortable.
Well, but they would maybe have you start with something that's like small, maybe like a grass snake, something that's not poisonous or something like that. Just to try to get you to get comfortable. I would not
partake in that study.
Okay, so you don't agree with that?
I don't agree with it, but I would not do it. I mean, like, agreeing with something is different from participating in it. Okay. I mean, like, if it works for somebody else, I'm sure there's another therapeutic way for me, or just to completely avoid it. Because, I mean, like, nature is like, it's such a big biome. Like, I don't have to be around snakes. Snakes doesn't have to be around me. But you can just find you can find a way to exist within your fears, just not being around it, you know. And I feel like that's enough than putting me in a situation that's going to give me a heart attack.
Yeah, but it's just it's for people who deal with like a high anxiety. They try to get you to be.
If it works for them,
yeah, they try to get you to be like less in that situation, because like those people get caught in their own head.
Yeah, I can see it working with kids with disability. We do, like, if they have a fear in something or like noise, like, we will try. We're not going to let them avoid it 100% because we're going to find ways for them to manage it. So I understand what you're saying. So in terms of that, it would work, but not in all fears. But
absolutely. And then in terms of the reflexology, let's jump into that. So you said you're not really familiar, you've heard a little bit about it.
Right. I'm just pulling out the root word. Yeah.
Reflexology deals with the different pressure points you have in your hands and your feet. These pressure points like correlate back to other parts of your body. So through like massage, acupuncture, things like that, you can alleviate like stress and tension in different parts of your body.
I've learned that with but I didn't put that terminology in it. But taking acupuncture, I had like such an intense lower back issue, and like he would just like, the doctor would just like do pressure points in different parts of my body, and it would alleviate my lower back. And I was like, that's crazy. Your fingertips is connected to here. Exactly. It's like it's
and
just
so that's
amazing.
what reflexology deals with. So a lot of people sometimes like take like the over-the-counter medicines for like pain and stuff. But you can alleviate a lot of that just by like a simple massage and things like that. So,
right.
Yeah, so that's why I'm out here like doing this, because a lot of people don't know about it. So to, like,
I'm all for that, because I'm holistic. I can like, a doctor can prescribe a medication for me, like in terms of pain medication, and if I can find another way to alleviate that. Yeah,
you want to try to do it.
It's a last resort. Absolutely. Yeah, so that's a good. I'm all an advocate for what you're pushing. Okay. Yeah.
Cool. So in terms of that, how ticklish are you?
Very ticklish.
Okay. Would you mind if we tested it on camera?
I do mind.
You do mind?
Yes.
Are you? Is it because that's like a boundary you don't want to be crossed?
Yeah, that's a boundary. Yeah, to me. To me, yeah.
It's just a simple test in terms of like to see like the sensitivity, like, because like different people have sensitivity. It should be a stimulating like type of experience.
Oh yeah,
where it's like a relaxing type thing. But if you have like a high sensitivity,
I do. Yeah. I go to the doctor and they put their hand and I'm flexed already.
Okay.
I do.
Absolutely. All right. Now, can I get you to do a couple exercises with your feet just to see if you have any ligament damage or bone damage? Is that possible?
What kind of exercise?
It's just if you put your foot out, just have you do it, and then it's just to see like if you have any type of. Okay. Can you take your shoe off, and that way we can.
But then up there is dirty. Then I won't love my feet.
Oh.
And then
your feet are gonna be fine.
I'm going on my date, and then I will need my feet to be lusciously clean.
Because it's gonna be kind of hard to do it with the shoes on. That's why. Can you just do one at a time, maybe? Is that okay?
Okay.
All right.
Or just one foot.
Yeah, you can do. Well, I need to do both, so because you might have ligament damage. So you can just stretch it out here. We'll do it from here.
I should have brought my phone. I must be getting phone calls.
Yeah, you can do it from here, and then we'll. So here's what I want you to do. Okay. First, bend your toes over, make a fist, and tell me if you feel any pain or discomfort from that.
No.
You're fine. Relax. Okay. Spread your toes. Tell me if you feel any pain or discomfort. Is it easy to do? Hard to do?
it's not hard.
Okay, relax. And now just wiggle your toes for about 10 seconds. Tell me if you feel any pain or discomfort. Anything? Okay, relax. So I have people do that because somebody I interviewed before, I had her do that. She started to feel a pain shoot down like her big toe, and she had like stumped her toe the week before, so she could have had some like ligament damage, possible broken bone, and she had no idea about it. So that's why I do this as another like informative part of the interview. So okay, let's wrap it up.
Okay.
Now you have to go. You said you got a date.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily a date, but of the opposite sex.
Okay, absolutely. So in terms of my approach to you, when I walked over, was it good? Was it bad? Is there something I can work on?
No, you didn't do. I mean, it's nothing for you to work on. You asked me if I was willing to do this, and time consuming. Yeah. I was not, but I agreed. Absolutely. Because of your approach.
And I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
In terms of the interview, right, from start to finish, did you see how everything was going in a line? Did it make sense to you? And did you learn anything new?
I learned in terms of the words, reflexology, and was it DBT? Okay, I'm gonna have to look into those some more, but it was very informative, you know. And what else did we talk about?
Those were the main things we talked about, like your thoughts and stuff on other areas, but those were just your opinions given out. So, but you learned about the DBT and the reflexology. Right.
Yeah.
So the last thing I ask everybody to do who does the interview, from a mental health standpoint, right? Maybe a life lesson that you learned, or some wise words of wisdom that you can say to my channel that could be helpful to you.
To me, or
that you're saying to my channel, something that you can say to my channel. Like something
that's
that you've
helpful,
learned. Like
that I've learned from this interview, or
not
just
from the interview,
in life?
Just in life in general.
Okay, in general, I've learned this, and I try to follow it myself. Is that the best way for self-help is to trust your inner you and don't worry about what the universe see you, or you just trust you and grow in loving you as a person. And I'm doing that every day, and that's the best mental health you can give yourself, because the more you worry about what people think about you, the less you focus on how you can improve you or make yourself happy. Really, because sometimes we don't even improvement in that sense. It's like we're looking at other view of us and we feel like we need improving, when in self we just need to love what we are and who we are, in a sense, not really what but who.
Absolutely.
Right.
I like that. Thank you so much. Appreciate you taking the time. I know that you just hopped off just to go use the bathroom, but thank you so much.
Put it out there.
Absolutely. Have a great day. Okay.
You too.